For the motherland, cradle of civilization, for the ancestors and their indomitable spirit, for the elders from whom we can learn much, for our youth who represent the promise for tomorrow, for our people, the original people, for our struggle and in remembrance of those who have struggled on our behalf, for Emoja, the principle of unity which should guide us in all that we do, for the Creator who provides all things, great and small. Happy Kwanzaa to you. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy Kwanzaa to you. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm just pausing the music right quick to say welcome to those of you who have joined us on Zoom and who are watching on Facebook Live. I'm Reverend Naomi from the Mayor's Office. We're going to get started with our program in just about 10, 11 minutes or so. So sit tight, relax, and listen to the music. Allow the music to ground you. We'll get started shortly.
Sacred through the years, we gather all together, all grateful to be here. African mother, we hold high our rich past, looking toward a better day, celebrating our settlers, singing Kwanzaa, Yenui Wena Here, Kwanzaa. May this Kwanzaa renew consciousness and healing. Kwanzaa, happy Kwanzaa to you. Embrace the 7 principles where dignity prevails. A conscious choice to make a change, lift off the blinding veil. African fathers, to you we lift our voice. The torch is ever burning, we stand as we rejoice, singing Kwanzaa, Yenui Wena Here, Kwanzaa, Yenui Wena Here. May this Kwanzaa renew consciousness and healing. Kwanzaa, happy Kwanzaa to you. Happy Embrace the 7 principles where dignity prevails. A conscious choice to make a change, lift off the blinding veil.
Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Cutting through the music just to say hello and greetings and welcome you to the Zoom space or to Facebook Live. Want you to just be grounded by the music until we start our program, which will be just in a few minutes. So welcome. Happy Kwanzaa, everybody. We'll get started shortly.
We can't hear the drumming, Reverend Naomi.
Happy Kwanzaa, happy Kwanzaa. Not sure why we're not hearing the drumming. It could be because of something technical, because of the tonality of the drum. But I'm not sure, but
Okay.
I'm
Thank
not
you,
sure.
Ira.
Yeah, happy Kwanzaa, happy Kwanzaa. I'm going to play a little bit more. Even if you can't hear me, maybe we can feel some of the vibes through the phone anyway, through our Zoom.
All right. And this is Molly Delphia, people.
Yes, yes.
Molly Delphia, and this is Ira Bond, the founder of the group, sharing the tradition of African drumming, because we always start our cultural events with drumming. So he is playing a djembe.
Yes, this is a djembe drum. It's made from one solid piece of wood, and it has a goat skin attached to it. And it comes from West Africa, places like Mali, Guinea, and the Ivory Coast. And drums are ways in which we communicate it, in which we talk with each other, because we play very specific rhythms for specific things in our culture.
All right. So we start all events with drumming, and then we also begin with libation. I will be doing libation shortly. Right. Thank you, Ira. We're gonna go into our libation.
Okay. And I saw someone say step back. I'm gonna try to step back and see.
All right. Okay. So again, we're seeing Ira play, opening the way for us. And the next way we culturally open the way for our programs and our gathering, even though it's virtual, we're still trying to duplicate how we would do it if we were in person. I'm now going to pour libation to begin this program. And libation is how we remember and honor those who came before us. So normally you'll be hearing the drums in the background as I do this. You cannot see the plant. I'm pouring from the Kikombe Chawumoja, one of the Kwanzaa symbols, into a plant that's on the floor here. And we're pouring. If I was out front and we were outside at Boathouse Row, how we've been these previous years, I would be pouring into the ground. But I'm pouring into a plant now that represents the ground. And we pour libation to remember those who came before us. And because they struggled and sacrificed, we can gather even virtually. And we pour libation in honor of all the different ways the Creator is recognized in the world. And we pour libation for all those who sacrificed and struggled so that we can have a multicultural world. And then I end this libation pouring for the children not yet born. They're on their way here. And we pour and say that we will make sure that the world is a much better place you enter, and that you will be loved and you will be a part of a loving and growing community. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. I end saying Ashe, which is an affirmation from the Akan tradition, just saying I want what the things that I said and the things I recognize to have power, to have energy. And I am Mama Maisha Ngoza, and one of the co-partners in this Boathouse Row lighting with the city of Philadelphia. And we're going to go now, as a part of also our traditions in the African-American tradition, we have the Black National Anthem. And we're going to have that sung by Big Little Sisters. So we're going to have to switch over to their video. Reverend Naomi, are you able to do that? This is a talented group of local talents. They're all still students in school, some in college, some in high school. And they're beautiful voices. And they have been with us down there in the cold singing. So they created this Zoom just for us. So Reverend Naomi, can you switch to the Black National Anthem? Here we go.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring. Ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise. High as the glistening skies, let it resound loud as the rolling seas. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. This is local talent, people, local talent. One's in college and two's in college and one's in high school, local talent in Philadelphia. We want to, we're going to switch over to Malele, and Malele had want to ask the Big Little Sisters some questions. Part of Kwanzaa is sharing about what it means to you and what the celebration means. So we want to ask these beautiful, beautiful voices to share something about Kwanzaa before we go to the rest of the program. So Sister Malele, how will we do this with the
Sure.
Big Little?
So they're going to join us. Habar Ghani, everyone. My name is
Umoja.
Sister Malele, and we have a mayor of Philadelphia who is named Jim Kinney. He has been with us for the past 5 years, also participating. And he also has some words that he's going to share with us from our office. Big Little Sister will be joining us soon. And we thank them so much for that beautiful style of singing, those most precious words, and they just filmed it for us today. And so we will get a chance to spend a little bit more time with them. But Reverend Naomi is going to let us know how we can hear from our mayor too.
Okay. Again, happy Kwanzaa, everyone. The greetings for Kwanzaa is Habari Ghani, and today is Umoja, which means unity. So if someone says Habari Ghani to you today is Umoja, a unity. And we're showing you the unity of how we all come together to put this program forward. Even, in times of COVID, we make it do. We still doing Kwanzaa. So thank you again. And Reverend Naomi and I kind of like co-hosting this with Malele, so we're shifting back and forth, and we appreciate your patience with us as we work our way through this. Thank you. So is the mayor up ready?
Good evening, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Reverend Naomi Washington Lee-Part, and I am the Director for Faith-Based and Interfaith Affairs in the Mayor's Office. And I am delighted to be hosting this third celebration of Kwanzaa on Boathouse Row, kind of, sort of, on Boathouse Row. We are always excited to partner with the Kwanzaa Cooperative to tell us something about Kwanzaa every year, and the meaning, of this festival, of this holiday, of this celebration, to me is more resonant every year, particularly every year that we live in the pandemic. The idea that we would come together and celebrate the brilliance and the genius of African-American Black culture is something that we should not take for granted, particularly when we are living through a pandemic. So thank you to the Kwanzaa Cooperative. I'm going to get out of the way so we can hear more from the Kwanzaa Cooperative and our other partners, community-based partners. We're going to hear some words of welcome and greeting from our mayor, Jim Kinney, and then we're going to hear some words of greeting from Tom Forkin, who is my colleague over in Philadelphia Parks and Recreation. I do see in the chat, yes, this is not the third ever celebration. This is my third celebration hosting this gathering on Boathouse Row. So thank you, Vincent, for giving us the history. We know that we've been doing this for many years now. Thank you so much. So we'll hear from the mayor, and then we'll hear from Tom, and then we'll kick it over back to you, Mama Maisha and Sister Malele. Here's our mayor, Jim Kinney.
Habari Ghani. I'm thrilled to be here with all of you to celebrate Kwanzaa again at Boathouse Row, one of our city's great landmarks. Thank you all for coming. Dr. Maulana Karenga founded this cultural holiday in 1966 as a way to celebrate, strengthen, and unify the African American community, no matter their faith. So I'm glad to be here hearing from Dr. Karenga by video tonight. I'm grateful for the leadership Maisha and Milele Sullivan, members of Philadelphia's own Kwanzaa Cooperative. The Kwanzaa Cooperative has tirelessly served our city by providing resources, art, and education about this important holiday. For the next several days, Boathouse Row will have red, green, and black lights, turning these historic houses into a kinara. This week, many residents will be lighting their own kinaras and reflecting on the 7 principles of Kwanzaa: unity, self-determination, collective work and responsibility, cooperative economics, purpose, creativity, and faith. We're proud to host the citywide recognition of the holiday each year. We know that our diversity is our greatest strength, We will continue to embrace and lift up every individual who chooses to call Philadelphia home. Thank you again for allowing me to join you this evening, and have a wonderful holiday. Happy Kwanzaa.
We appreciate our mayor's presence, even virtually, in this celebration. Tom, I want to kick it over to you for greetings.
Thank you, Reverend. Thank you for embracing me, Reverend. Thank you for having me be part of this and the Kwanzaa Cooperative. I want to welcome everyone on behalf of the Commissioner of Parks and Rec and behalf of the entire department. Thank you for joining us tonight. Please, please enjoy this special holiday season. Thank you for having me. Enjoy the lights. Habari Gani.
Umoja Barigani.
Umoja.
Yeah. Well, thank you all so much. The city is in full support of this celebration, and we kick it back over to Sister Malele and Mama Maisha.
So again, we want to thank the mayor and the Parks and Recs and you, Reverend Naomi, and everyone else. Philadelphia, you know, we believe this is the largest Kinara. We're still waiting for the Guinness Book of Records to acknowledge that Boathouse Row is probably the largest municipal Kinara being lit. And you know, Philadelphia, we do things big. So we're very proud of this and honored. And we certainly want to acknowledge Vincent Thompson, who, because of him, this happened. Some years ago, he was saying, why isn't Boathouse Row lit red, black, and green for Kwanzaa? So it's through Vincent's initiative and advocacy that this even happened. And we're continuing that. And we always like to acknowledge those who were the ones that pushed things forward and got us thinking about doing things. So thanks. So again, thanks to Vincent Thompson. So what we want to do now, we have is for the first time, normally we'd be outside real cold, moving real fast, but you know, we can get a little bit more done virtually than we would if we were outside, even though that's to see the lights is a beautiful thing. We are honored to have Dr. Maulana Karenga, who's made sending us a message just for Philadelphia. He normally came to Philadelphia every year during Kwanzaa. Our organization would bring him every year, but you know, he's not traveling because of COVID. So he still wanted to continue to share with us and send us a message. So he made a little short Kwanzaa message for us. And so we're going to switch for that and hope that you will appreciate his sharing. So, you know, Dr. Karenga is the creator of Kwanzaa, born in Baltimore, in Eastern Shore, Maryland. He wasn't born in Africa. Kwanzaa started here in the United States. It's traveled around the world, but I want you to know, for those watching, it's not truly all in Africa. He researched Africa, but he was born in the Eastern Shore, Maryland, and he created this celebration 55 years ago. It's only 55 years old. So again, happy Kwanzaa to everyone. And let's hear from the creator of the celebration, Dr. Maulana Karenga.
Head is our Kwanzaa. Happy Kwanzaa to African people everywhere, throughout the world African community, and to all those who love freedom, cherish justice, and struggle to bring good into the world. We bring you and send you Kwanzaa greetings of celebration, solidarity, and continued struggle for a shared good in the world. And in the words and way of our ancestors, we wish for you all things good and pure and beautiful, all the good that heaven grants, the earth produces, and the waters bring forth from their depth. Hotel, Ashe, Hedi. This year, in the 55th anniversary of celebrating the Pan-African holiday of Kwanzaa by millions of Africans throughout the world African community, on every continent in the world, we find ourselves, and indeed the world, in the midst of a global pandemic. We find ourselves in the midst of continuing conflict and war, increasing poverty and inequality, and the serious dangers of environmental degradation and climate change. In truth, we are living in dangerous, difficult, and demanding time. But we must not despair, lose hope, or become pessimistic. On the contrary, we are to continue on the upward path of our honored ancestors and still do good, still share good, and still celebrate good in the world and for the world. Indeed, it is indeed a time-honored tradition that each year at Kwanzaa, we celebrate the good in and of the world. We celebrate the good of family, community, and culture, the good of hope, the good harvested and hoped for, the good achieved and enjoyed, the good worked for and witnessed and brought to fruition. Moreover, we celebrate the good of life and of love, of health and happiness, and the good of the earth and the heavens and all in them. This we do in the best of time and even in the worst of time. And Kwanzaa, as a time of remembrance, reflection, and recommitment, calls for our commitment to reaffirm the good and to resist all that seeks and tends to prevent, diminish, or destroy the good. And Kwanzaa's insistence on celebrating the good in spite of the dangerous, difficult, and demanding times in which we now live our lives, do our work, and wage our struggle, offers us an essential foundation and way forward. So let us continue to hold on to and radiate the legendary resilience, resourcefulness, and adaptive vitality our people are known for globally. Let us reaffirm the good by reaffirming the goodness, sacredness, and beauty of ourselves as persons and peoples. Let us also refuse to despair, lose hope, or be defeated, and instead continue to struggle for and achieve goodness against all odds, against all naysayers and non-doers. Indeed, we must constantly conceive and craft new ways to share love, beauty, life necessities, and other goods with each other, regardless of the times and circumstances. And again, the Nguzo Saba, the 7 principles, offer us a beautiful and meaningful way forward. These values are communitarian values. That is to say, they stress interrelatedness, togetherness, caring, collaboration, cooperation, other directedness, and striving and struggling for a shared and expansive good for all. And always they require constant practice in the small and large circles of our lives and the world. Certainly one of the most significant ways to raise up and reaffirm the Nguzo Saba, the 7 principles, is through the Kwanzaa lighting ceremony. And especially on the first night of Kwanzaa, Umoja night, we gather together to reinforce the bonds among us. And as a community, and we participate in the collective ceremony called Lifting Up the Light that Lasts. This reflects the sacred teaching of our honored ancestors found in the Hosea that says, we as a people are given that which endures in the midst of that which is overthrown. And that this enduring legacy is our spiritual and ethical values. And so at Kwanzaa, we light the candles, represent the principle, and lift up these lasting values which light the path to bringing good in the world. And lifting up the light of the principles, we think deeply about them. We discuss them and recommit ourselves to them in an ongoing effort to make them truly a vital part of our daily life and constant practice. As we light each day one of the 7 candles, which represents the 7 principles, we make a wish for and commitment to the good each principle, when practiced, will bring into the world. For each wish unavoidably carries with it a commitment to work and struggle to bring that principle into being. As we light the candle for Umoja, unity, let us wish and commit ourselves to work for a continued and ever-expanding unity of African people and their families and community. Throughout the world, as they continue to forge their future, constantly seeking African and human good and the well-being of the world. And let us wish and work for an increased unity among all the peoples of the world, based on mutual respect for each people and culture, shared common good, liberation for the oppressed, justice for the wronged and injured, power for all people over their destiny and daily life, and a just peace at every site of conflict and war in the world. Let us enlighten the candle of Ujima, collective working responsibility, wish and commit ourselves to work together to achieve the good world we all want and deserve to live in. As the sacred teachings of our honored ancestors in the Odu Ifa say, we search for a world where there's full knowledge of things, happiness everywhere, peace, harmony with nature, well-being, security of person in a world of shared human good and the well-being of the world. As we light the candle for Ujamaa Cooperative Economic, let us wish and commit ourselves to work for the strengthening of the principle and practice of shared work and shared wealth in society and also in the world. And let us wish for and work for economic practices that reflect due respect for the dignity of work, the rights of the worker, the link of a right to a life of dignity with a right to a decent life, and that demonstrates appropriate care for the poor, rightful responsibility for the ill, the disabled, the aged, and all the vulnerable, and a right relationship with the environment. Let us light the candle of Nia purpose with a wish and commitment to work for the realization of the collective vocation of restoring the rightful power and proper place of African people in the world, and of daring greatness through the amassing and using of knowledge to serve and do good in the world. For it is written in the Hosea, the wise are known by their wisdom, but the great are known by their good deeds. And let us remember that our ultimate purpose is found in the teachings of our ancestors, our honored ancestors, in the Odu Ifa, which says that human beings are chosen ones, Eniyan, divinely chosen to bring good into the world. And this is the fundamental mission and meaning of human life. As we light the candle for Kumba creativity, let us wish and commit ourselves to work for a world which is better and more beautiful than the one we inherited. And in doing this, let us reaffirm the ancient African ethical imperative to constantly repair, renew, and remake the world, a practice called Suruj Ta in ancient Egyptian. This moral obligation calls on us everywhere and at all times, in society, in our relationships, and in nature, to raise up what is in ruins, to repair what is damaged, to rejoin what is separated, to replenish what is depleted, to strengthen what is weakened, to set right what is wrong, and to make flourish that which is fragile, insecure, and undeveloped. Finally, as we light the candle for Imani faith, let us wish for and commit ourselves to a sustained and steadfast belief in the good of people, in the good of the world, and the belief in our capacity to create good, to find it, to cultivate it, to harvest it, and then to share it with each other in an unlimited number of meaningful and mutually beneficial ways. And let us remember to hold fast to the faith of our forefathers and foremothers who taught us in the sacred teachings of the Hosea that doing good is not difficult. Just speaking good is a monument for those who do it. For those who do good for others are also doing it for themselves, for they are building the good and moral community and world we all want and deserve to live in. Heri za Kwanzaa, happy Kwanzaa. And in the tradition of our honored ancestors, we wish for you all blessings without number and all good things without end. Heri za Kwanzaa, happy Kwanzaa.
That's a sharing from Dr. Maulana Karenga, the creator of the celebration, and the celebration of sharing the good. Kwanzaa is the good that we are sharing. And even though it started here in the United States, the good has spread around the world because people found beauty and value in it. And so we thank Dr. Karenga for sharing the deeper meaning and the importance of it. What I will do, we were still trying to speak to Big Little Sisters, but they're just getting on. I wanted to lift up this candle and light this candle, but I'm not sure how the sequence is now. Some things got changed around, and talk a little bit about the symbols real fast. So we have to see, I'm looking for the chat to see if we're still going to have time to talk with Big Little Sisters. I'm not sure, but it's just a beautiful message to hear from Dr. Karenga, and he will be doing a much fuller Kwanzaa broadcast on the 31st, and we'll show that slide for that at the end if you want to see his full Kwanzaa presentation. Is also virtual, and we'll share that, so stay on at the end. We'll share those slides for other opportunities to hear him share about Kwanzaa. So I don't know if people can see me. Am I going with the candle lighting now, Malala? You need to let me know in the chat or somewhere. I have a Kwanzaa set up here. You can see it. And the red, black, and green candles. It's the only colors we can have for Kwanzaa because we know these are colors. You see red, black, and green, you know somebody black's around somewhere, you know, so these are colors. So so we got these candles here, and I'm going to light the Black Unity candle and I'm lifting up that energy, that light, what Dr. Kringle talked about, lifting up the light that lasts. And we want unity to be last. We know, you know, now, especially in our city, we have some people who are challenged about unity, you know, and they're full of disharmony and trauma and causing more trauma. And it let us know the importance of unity. If these people had a sense of feeling unified with themselves, feeling unified with the community, feeling unified with their peers and with their colleagues, you know, it would be peaceful. But for some reason, they have disharmony and disunity, and we have to pray for them. We have to organize, and we have to suppress them because they're making us not be able to feel safe and peaceful and in harmony and have unity. So this is why this is important to lift this candle and lift these principles up these 7 days, but to work on them every day of the year. We have to live them every day, but we just, you know, ritualize them during Kwanzaa. So I'm lighting the unity candle. I'm gonna switch over to me so you can see it. I'm not sure if you can see it.
We can see you.
Okay, so what are we doing, big little sisters? I'm lighting the Umoja candle. Say Umoja.
Umoja.
Unity.
Unity.
Strive for and maintain unity in our families, community, nation, and race. And just as I shared that we're struggling in our communities now dealing with unity, we're struggling as a nation dealing with unity also. You know, because we have some people want to take us down some different paths, take us away from a democratic country, and we're fearful that might be leading us to fascism. You know, so we have an issue around disunity even as a nation, and we have it in our community, and we have it everywhere. So this is why this principle is so important for us to become a strong nation, to live up to our potentials, to live up to all of the things that is supposed to guarantee all the people. We have to practice unity, and we have to protect unity, and we have to respect the human decency of all people. So I like this Umoja candle for unity. And so we're going to try and catch up, give these young sisters who had a chance to perform for us to just answer a few Kwanzaa questions about Kwanzaa, because that's what we do. We're going to ask them to talk about the principles important to them. And then we'll end with a Harambe. It's what we do for Kwanzaa. We do a Harambe, 7 fists. And we end with that. And then we're going to light Boathouse Row, because after we do that, then we're ready to see Boathouse Row be lit. So there go big little sister. Look at these beautiful women. Ah, there you go. Oh,
how are you doing?
Well, welcome back, ladies. Thank you so much for joining us again. You all are such treasures to us in our Philadelphia area. And I just thought that it was so important for us to uplift you all as our youth, to remind ourselves and to thank you all for being standards of excellence, despite some things that we might hear in the media or some things that we see in social media. I know that you all are doing the right thing out here, and you are helping to help our society. You are focusing definitely on one of the principles, very much so, which is Kuumba, right? Creativity. You are so immensely talented. I just wanted to make sure that this year in particular, normally we have you all sing for us and we introduce you, but I'm like, you know what? These are some bad sisters. We need to just spend a little bit more time, because just a week ago, I happened to be watching something on Facebook and Instagram, and they were talking about a student being at Berkeley going to school and was doing something recently for Berkeley School of Music, and was doing something for a Beyonce tribute. And I looked at the director's name. I said, wait a minute, is that Sarah? Wait, hold up, that's our young lady. So, I just know know that our young people, especially with me being someone helping to work with post-secondary students, that, you know, it's a lot going on right now. We even know that some of our HBCUs, Morgan State University, Soleil in particular, I know some of the schools, they shut down temporarily, or you had to go to school really quickly through virtual classes and you weren't prepared for it. Or so now, if I apologize if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, but I know you're still in high school right now, and that you're attending the Baldwin School, and that you all are just like, regardless of it, you're showing up, you're showing out, and you're doing the work. And so I just want to know from you all, if you could just spend just a minute or so just to tell us, how are you doing that? And is there any principle, Kwanzaa principle in particular, that connects with you, and why? If you can share that, please.
Okay, well, I'll start. I'm Sarai. I'm the oldest of the three. I'm 22. I'm in my last year at college at Berklee College of Music. And this year I spent a lot of time producing shows, a lot of the entertainment that I love, award shows and the Grammys, the Oscars. They have these producers that are behind the scenes, putting every piece together, working with the artists and the entertainers to just make the shows bigger and better. So I've had a really great opportunity to explore that creativity of mine. So my favorite principle, naturally, like you said, is Kuumba. I feel like creativity fuels success in communities. It allows us to explore our passions. It's art. I think Philadelphia is just a city full of art. I think it's music. It's oh my gosh, it's street art. It's food. It's fashion. It's everything under the sun. And I think the great thing about Black culture that I love is that we've integrated it into every facet of what we've been doing from the beginning of time. So I truly, truly love the fact that we've gotten a chance to explore our creativity. We have very supportive families and we have very supportive communities. We're very thankful to be here with you all again. And yes, I just think that Kuumba is an amazing principle. I'm excited to celebrate it. And I think my sisters also have some other ones, so I'll let them speak as well. But thank you so much for having us. We're so appreciative.
I guess I'll go next. We'll go down in age-wise. I'm Soleil. As recently stated, I do attend Morgan State, and I would definitely say being in a pandemic and definitely learning in this type of environment has definitely changed my perspective on the views of like how I see myself moving forward, and like how everybody's working so hard to make things like the new norm. And definitely how Sarai is going to school for music production. I'm also trying to go to school to give back in the same way of music, of doing music therapy. So it's definitely something that requires me to do one-on-one, definitely learn like how to work in this new environment, how to work with people. And so going hand in hand, my favorite principle has to be, well, maybe not my favorite because I do love creativity, but one that I relate to the most right now is definitely Emoja, which happens to be today. And and it definitely goes hand in hand with unity, because with being my sophomore year, like it wasn't a normal sophomore year. My whole freshman year, just like my senior year, these past 3 years has definitely been hard, and going hand in hand with unity. Again, it starts in family. Like my family is a big backbone of everything that I've been doing. On the creativity side, I've definitely had to learn new ways, like creative ways to help myself get through school. But like the part of I couldn't do it by myself. I could absolutely not do this by myself. My sisters have been a big part of it. My parents, my grandparents, people around me, they definitely have been holding me up to keep going, because without them, honestly, I would have given up a long time ago. So I definitely would say Moja is a huge, huge thing in my life right now.
We need each other for sure.
Okay, and to piggyback off my sister, going back to what you said about school and having this hard time during the pandemic, with like school and me transitioning back into school because I wasn't in school last year. It was hard at first, but I'm moving in slowly back into it. And I realized that when I'm in school and I have those hard times, there's a reason why. There's a reason why I have this purpose, in a sense of going through school to get to where I want to be in life. And that helps a lot, which correlates to Nia, which is one of my second favorites. Because that means purpose, and we're all here for a purpose, and for what I believe is that me and my sisters are together for a purpose, and that we sing together, and that we have each other. Because if I didn't have my sisters, I don't know what I would do. And even though they're at college, they call me all the time, and I feel as if we've been closer than ever just because of the pandemic and having so much time together. So even though we are going through troubled times, it was for a purpose. God laid this out for us to correlate with each other and spend more time with each other. So I'm really glad that happened.
No, thank you. Ashe, thank you. So I'm so glad that we spent time to just hear more from your voices, because I know you've been doing things with us at the Philadelphia, the main library for years too, to help educate children. I said, but you know, these young ladies are so positive. They're educating forces as far as I'm concerned. And then I know you to be for your beauty and your spirited ways of singing, but you all are strong. And I just hope that other young people in our Philadelphia area can learn from some of the things that you all were also sharing with us today, males included. Not just because you're ladies, and I don't want any guys to be feeling left out. No, you all have strength that crosses genders and age groups. You bring a intergenerational message that I think is so strong, and I just love you all for it. Please keep up the good work. You have our support. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And you
Listen,
know,
if we-
the big part of Kwanzaa, have the corn. The corn represents the children. These are our children. These 3 young women are our children. That's why the corn is on the table. Our future. The children are our future. But if we don't groom them, we don't harvest them right, like these children, they have been harvested. They have been protected. And if they're not harvested right, they won't be our future. They can be our fate. So this is the importance of the children, and that they need guidance. They need to be harvested. They need to be taken care of, watered, pull the weeds away from them, all this stuff. So Kwanzaa represents this, that this is a harvest festival, but we're talking about ingathering and harvesting our people. And these children are blooming. They're blooming, they're growing, because they have been well cared for. They have been taken good care of, and they are able to give back. So I'm glad we got a chance to hear from them, because they are our future. They are not our fate. They're just very talented, beautiful, and we wish them nothing but success in life, to them and their family. And I want to say happy Kwanzaa to you. Ashe?
Happy Kwanzaa. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies, so much.
All right. So we're going to start winding down now, Malele, correct?
Yes, we are. And then we're just going to have just a couple of the slides for you to just share with us about, we're virtual, so we can get a little bit inch of time extra. We're not out in the cold right now, just for you to just show a couple of the symbols. I know Dr. Kringer covered some of them, so we just want to just breeze through them really quickly. And but Umoja is today, and that's the one that we definitely for certain want to focus on. And then next we have Kuji Chakalia. So I think it took a lot of self-determination for those young ladies to get through their school year, to come back, to travel so back and forth, and for their mom, Miss Danielle, who I communicate with, I recently noticed she traveled all the way up to Boston to make sure that she was there for her daughter's final kind of sort of where she's the director and doing this major, massive rendition of homage to the work of Beyonce, but you see a brass band, you see steppers, you see dancers. And so, it takes a lot of determination to do those things. And so Ujima, for collective work and responsibility, for me, I just feel as if it has a lot to do with even what we have come to do today, to collectively come together to do something positive despite things around us that can slow us down and that can harm us, and that we're taking care of one another, and that if we were in a space physically that we would have our mask on and we'd be doing things like that to take care of one another. So these principles, they have so much to do with us being responsible. And so I'm gonna have you, Mama Aisha, just touch a little bit more on Ujamaa while we are sliding down, please.
Okay. So Ujamaa is a cooperative economics, one of the principles. And one of the important things of Kwanzaa is that there are things that are needed for Kwanzaa, and we're encouraging people to support small Black businesses, for Kwanzaa. Don't buy your Kwanzaa from Walmart and Target and all those things. They don't need your Kwanzaa money. The small businesses do. Everyone's hurting, and the small businesses are really hurting. So to practice cooperative economics and to build and maintain our own store shops and other businesses, and to profit together from them. So we got great little strips. We got 52nd Street. We got African stores on Woodland. On Germantown Avenue, we have some nice little African inspired shop. So there's stores you can find the things you would like for Kwanzaa. You can find your gifts. So, so practice spending money with small businesses, because that money turns around in our community faster than the money that you send and spend into Target and Walmart or those big corporate stores. And small stores, they're the ones hire your nephews, your nieces to work in there. Those small stores are the ones mentor. They support your sports teams and the community activities. It's those small businesses that do that. So Ujamaa is a very important value, and not just on Kwanzaa, but throughout the year.
Another example is support Big Little Sister as a group. They can come out, they can sing. They made that pre-recorded song of singing the Black National Anthem for us. They're all in school right now. They can, benefit from somebody having a way of doing something possibly at their neighborhood activity, even at their place of someone's place of faith. Support them as being scholars. There's things that I'm, even talking to them about, helping them to know about scholarships in our community. So even our young people who are doing things like that, that's positive. That's also a way of and economically supporting young people who are doing positive things.
Okay, and they listed it in the chat. They listed where you can find them on Instagram and on YouTube. So they listed that information. So check the chat and please support them in terms of the Ujamaa and Ujima, all of it. They need all of it. They and all the children need our support. And then the next principle, one of the young sisters put Nia, purpose. We have to live a purpose-driven life. We have to have the importance of doing things on purpose, intentional, being outward directed, because this culture that we in have you be so self-centered and self-focused that we can sometimes think that that's our best thing to do, is just do for self and you're all in it for yourself. And that's just so non-communal. And then we have Kuumba, creativity, that spark. You see, that's that energy, that spark that goes off in your head and your mind when you have a great idea, when you feel like you can do something. That's the spark you have for creativity. It's from the 7 vibrations of the Dogon. I'm like a real creative person, so this one speaks to me deeply. And then the last principle, Imani, faith. So you saw we began with unity and we end with faith. 2 bookends. You have to have unity, you have to have faith to hold all the rest of it together. You have to believe that we are a people, and you have to have the faith that we are good people, that we can rise above our material conditions and be better people. So we're not talking about faith in the religious sense. We're talking about faith in the humanity sense, faith in us as people, a beautiful people, and that we all want better and we deserve better. So those are the 7 principles of Kwanzaa that we would discuss, but not just during Kwanzaa, but to live throughout the year, 365 days of the year. So I already like that black candle, but now we're going to end. And these are the symbols. We don't have time for the symbols, but there's 7 symbols in Kwanzaa, and you can see them. Just go to Dr. Karenga's website, the official Kwanzaa website, to get all of this information, or the Kwanzaa book he has. It's the only book we recommend, Kwanzaa, A Celebration of Family, Community, and Culture, for all the information and deep meaning about everything. Everything has deep meaning. He has a page and a half just about the corn, so the book is deep. And we got daily practices. We showed you, we did libation, and then we lift up the light that lasts, these candles. And this is the Kwanzaa greeting, Heri za Kwanzaa, Heri wa Kwanzaa. This means happiness, good fortune, and blessedness. That's what this Kwanzaa greeting means. And these are the days of Kwanzaa. The days, the first day, December 26th to January 1st. Okay, keep going, Lay. This is the Kwanzaa Karamu. This is an event that you have a small one in your house. Everybody come together, similar like with like everybody come together around Christmas dinner and Halloween dinners. We come together for a big dinner during Kwanzaa. And then the last day of Kwanzaa, January 1st, Siku Ya Tamuli, is a day of meditation where we just sit back and think about the year that passed and the year that's coming ahead of us, and plan purposely. And ask ourselves, did I do as much as I could this year? Could I do better? How can I improve myself? How can I improve my family and my relationships? You do this day of deep meditation and honest reflection. And that's the January 1st. And the ending, so this Kwanzaa's with best wishes, but we're going to end here with our 7 Harambe's. Harambe just means pull together. And we will make a fist, you know, what we used to call the Black Power fist. I got my old Black Power fist here from the 60s, this artifact. It's always on my Kwanzaa table. Remind me that Kwanzaa came from the Black Power movement when we were rising up, being proud of who we were, being proud to be African and Black people. So we're going to do Harambe, and we're going to say it 7 times, and then we're going to throw the lights at Boathouse Row and see it light up red, black, and green. They're going to light all over the 7 so you can see what it looks like when all of them are lit. But it's only one going to be lit the rest of the night. And then tomorrow you go by there, you see 2 lit, you'll see 3 lit the 3rd day until all 7 are lit too. So it's just, we're just really proud of this in Philadelphia. So we're going to say Harambe, and then we're going to turn it back over to Reverend Naomi, and she will direct whoever is throwing the switch at Boathouse Row. We're looking at it there and right there. Okay. So we're going to say 7 Harambes, and then we're going to throw the switch, right? On the count of 3, we're going to start the Harambe, and we make a nice power fist. And we pull up and we pull down and we say Harambe. So I'm just going to, I can feel you saying it. Even though I can't see you, I'm going to be able to feel that energy. And then it lasts on the 7th one. We want you to hold it and let it out, because we got a lot we need to let out. We've been holding in so much stuff for these last 2 years. We want to like really let it out. And we got to pull together. We got to pull together and turn back on this pandemic. It's not came back to us. You done made a repeat. And we have to pull together and make each other safe, you know, and keep our spaces safe. So it's very important that we pulling together this pandemic, because these numbers are rising again, right? So let's pull together, people, and beat back on Omicron, Delta, whatever name it come out with the 3rd one coming. We just tired of it. We fighting back. So let's say 7 Harambe.
Staying safe.
Staying safe.
Yeah.
So on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Harambe.
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 Harambe. Let's see this lights go on. Reverend Naomi, who's cutting the lights on for us? I would normally point, go lights.
My colleague Tom will.
Tom.
Oh, it's lit. Look,
It's
there
lit.
it is.
It's
There
lit.
it is.
There we go. Whoa. Wait. Okay.
We see
Happy
it.
Happy Kwanzaa, everybody. We
Happy
lit the whole
Kwanzaa.
Kinara just so everybody could see it done, the whole Kinara, but then we'll go one at a time through the rest of the celebration. I want to say thank you to the Kwanzaa Cooperative, Mama Maisha and Sister Malele. Thank you so much for the leadership you provide all year long, all year round, making sure we understand and celebrate our culture. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Big Little Sister. Y'all follow them on Instagram. Get their project when it is released in 2022. I'm imagining in 2022. Thank you again to Tom Forkin from Philadelphia Parks and Rec, to my colleague Saptarshi Dutt, who is down there on the row filming so that we could see it happen live. Thank you, Saptarshi. And thank you, everybody. This program is always extraordinary. So thank you all so much. We got folks from South Carolina joining us, of course, people from Philadelphia. So thank you all so much. Why don't we I'm going to spotlight the roll so everybody can see it. And I think our drummers are gone, but I will play one more Kwanzaa song as we leave today. Thank you all so much.
Thank you. And I'm going to try to pull up the flyer for where Dr. Karenga will be in New York virtually. Yes. Okay.
Oh, it looks so beautiful.
Oh, wow. Look at that. So we know sometimes, everybody, it's a little difficult for the middle to look just black, because that'll mean nothing's going to be lit. So you see the top, which is signifying the flame.
Right.
And then the bottom is the black part of the candle.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yes.
And I
All
thank
right.
everyone for coming together again to pull this together. Despite it all, we show our Kuji Chakali, our self-determination to help for it to happen. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
We
you
make
all. We
it
got
so
folks from Connecticut here joining us. Thank you so much. Go ahead and put up the flyer so folks can see it before they leave.
Yep, and you might do it. You might have a music playing before I get the flyer up, but here it comes. Here it
Okay.
comes.
So
Thank
tune
you.
into this flyer for more ways you can participate in Kwanzaa stuff throughout the celebration. I'm gonna play.
And it was beautiful today at the African American Museum today. They had a wonderful Kwanzaa program this morning. So you might even see some highlights on channel 3, 6, and 10 and WHYY tonight. So check that out too. Thank you to everyone who was able to participate for that as well. We have a great city. We know that we can do better and do more on behalf of our cultural identity and our also just staying together strong. And I just appreciate people who understand that effort that people are still putting that through. So thank you so much, Reverend Naomi, Mama Maisha. Thank you all so much to the city, to the mayor for helping to support this effort, to everybody at Parks and Recs. It just is wonderful. Thank you.
And again, we want to always thank Vincent Thompson for his initiative and getting this to start and happen. And you know, all it takes is one spark, and he was that spark. And everybody joined in, you know, so a lot of things start because one person took the initiative in doing it. You don't need a lot of people, you know, but you just need to be persistent and dedicated and serious about it. You can get things done. And that's how Vincent was. And we all joined in once he said he wanted to do it. We said, that's a good thing. And the city was open. It wasn't like there was a lot of resistance, you know, because it was hard. It's hard to say why you shouldn't do it, you know? So it's a beautiful thing for them to light this up, and we appreciate it. And the skyline in Philadelphia, if we got to check and see, the electric company used to have a Kwanzaa light up. That new building that Penn put up off of the South Street Bridge was red, black, and green last year and the year before last. So I'm not sure if they're still doing things like that this year. So hopefully they have continued it. But a lot of those things happen because of Black employees that work there, that advocate and push to get those kind of things happening. And so if you work somewhere and it's a public space or something, you know, push your culture like everybody else do. Don't be ashamed. Push the culture that you want your culture included in things, you know, and a lot of times you won't get the pushback you think you'll get. You just have to take the initiative.
Thank you. And I'm ready to show the flyer when I'm
Yeah, please. So these are places where this is a virtual where Dr. Karenga will be at. Okay, this is the major event that Dr. Karenga will be doing a virtual. This is on the 31st. If you go on the Kwanzaa Cooperative's website, Facebook page, you can see a link for this there. It's what's the name of the page, Malay? The 55th anniversary?
55th anniversary, yes.
Yeah, 55th anniversary of Kwanzaa on Facebook. You'll see all these flyers and everything there, especially the ones where Dr. Karenga will be giving a full presentation, a virtual presentation. Again, Heri za Kwanzaa, everyone. Happy Kwanzaa to you.
Heri za Kwanzaa.
And I'm going to put my number in the chat, the Kwanzaa Cooperative's number. If you have any questions or need any technical assistance or anything for Kwanzaa, I'm putting our number here so that you can reach us if you have any questions or anything. Kwanzaa Cooperative. 215. So that's a number. If you have any questions, I want to know where you can find things at for Kwanzaa, preparing for next year for Kwanzaa, we can help you with that. Hopefully by then we're gonna beat this pandemic down, we can gather more. So that's our contact information is in the chat. And I look forward to hearing from you. And happy Kwanzaa.
Happy Kwanzaa.
Happy Kwanzaa.
Take care, everyone. Have a good one.
Take care.
Bye-bye.